What is the most outrageous fee you've ever been charged? 1. 1970s. I received a bill for $0. Oh, I ignored it. A month later, I got an overdue notice for the $0. Balance. I called. They told me to ignore it. Another past due notice. Then a notice threatening to turn my account over to a collection agency. So, I wrote out a check for $0. And mailed it in. Problem solved. 2. I own a 250-gallon propane tank and get it filled about once a year. Because I own the tank, I get to choose who fills it. One afternoon, a propane delivery truck comes to my home and start to set up like they're going to fill my tank. I tell the driver that I'd not ordered any propane and I ask what's going on. His reply was that they were in the area and saw that I'd not had my tank refilled in over 2 years, so they thought that they'd just go ahead and fill it. Well, that didn't seem right to me. First, how did he check delivery records from his truck and why would he do so? Second, I recently had the tank filled from a different supplier, so there was no room in the tank for any more. So I refused the delivery, and other than putting a lock on the tank access lid, thought no more about it. That is, until the bill for the delivery came. Only one item on the bill, a fee for an emergency delivery. To their credit, when I contacted the supplier, they quickly dismissed the bill. 3 decades ago, I received a past due notice for a loan payment to a bank I'd never done business with. Puzzled, I called the bank. After explaining my confusion 3 times, I finally was talking with someone who had sense enough to look into it instead of fobbing me off to someone else. Did you make a purchase from such and such music store? Indeed, I'd purchased a piano for my wife a month or so earlier. Might have been nice if the salesman had mentioned they'd turn the loan over to a third party, but whatever. I then asked the bank worker how the very first communication I'd received from the bank could be a past due notice. You should have received a payment coupon book, she said. As indicated, this was ages ago. I've received nothing from you till this, I replied. And then, to my everlasting amazement, she said, I know. The printing company we use had an equipment breakdown and the coupon books haven't gone out for a while. That I know blew me away. The bank knew their customers weren't being told when their payments would be due, and how much they would be, and, in cases such as mine, didn't even know their loan had been sold to that bank, and instead of notifying people, they just sent out overdue notices, with a late fee attached, of course. So I told the nice lady that I'd be happy to make the payment, but I would not stand for a late charge. Now it was her turn to be puzzled. Why not? Because I wasn't late. You were. In the end, she had to have a VP call me later, and after I went over it all again, he agreed it was kinda dumb for them to send late notices to people who didn't even know they had a loan with that bank. He waived the late fee. That only took half of my day. 4. I'm adopted out of Florida. The adoption agency charged my adoptive parents many thousands of dollars for me. When I turned 18, I went to the agency to find out about myself and my identity. The adoption agency lady pulled my file and had it right on her desk when I walked in. She smiled and told me that my maternal grandmother had kept her address up to date with them, in case I ever wanted to contact her. I asked her to please write down the address and she told me no, but if I pay her a $500 research fee, I could write a letter and they would forward it to the address they had in my file. I pointed out that they had just told me her updated address was in my file, so no research was needed. They still insisted on $500. Yeah, the adoption agency sells a baby for $32K, and then when that child is grown, they charge them an extortion fee just to get in touch with relatives who want to be in touch. You can't make this shit up. 5. I move into a newly built house. The builder left the electric on. I call the electric company immediately to put the electricity in my name. First month, no bill. I call. They insist I don't owe anything. No amount of arguing convinces them. I document the call. I call every month. I argue. I explain. How can I be living here for X months and not have used any of your electricity? They will not give me a bill. They insist I own nothing. Month 10 comes along and I have a shut-off notice on my door. I call. I tell them I will be glad to pay. I tell them I have been trying to get a bill for 9 months. I refuse to pay the late fees, interest, etc., and I refuse to give a deposit. I read them the notes from all the months with the names of the idiots who would not let me have a bill, who insisted that I owed nothing. They will not budge. I call the Public Utility Commission to complain. Within an hour, the electric company is on the phone. They're falling over themselves apologizing. They waive all fees and offer a payment plan of $25 per month. I tell them I have your money, all of it. I've been trying to get you to take it for 9 months. You just need to give me the actual bills for the 9 months. They came up with a bill that seemed reasonable and I paid. 6. One day, I'm sitting there and this beep starts going off. I find out it's the cable box in the closet. I call Verizon. Your box is beeping. Is battery light red? Hang on. I grab flashlight and go look. Yes, the red light is on and the letters say battery. Your battery needs replacing. It's the battery that makes your phone work if the power dies. Is that all it does? Yes, it's an important safety issue. If your power goes off, you can still use the phone, which is really important if you have to contact friends or, God forbid, call emergency services. Oh, okay. Well, can you send me another? Yes, sir. I will have one sent to you, and we will charge your account. Wait, what? You are charging me for a part of your equipment that needs replacing? Yes, sir. It will be $80. We will charge your account. That doesn't sound right. It's your equipment. Yes, but you rent it. But that makes no sense. Okay. So this battery is just for the phone? Yes, sir. Well, I don't have the phone service. Goodbye. I got my tools out, opened up the box, and disconnected the beeper. 7. I purchased a bed with free shipping. When the delivery arrived, they wanted to charge me a $30 fee for delivering it when I was at home. I said, I bought a bed with free shipping and I didn't expect to pay anything for free shipping. They proposed to hold my delivery hostage. I told them my checkbook was in a packing box somewhere. If they felt I owed this fee, which I disputed, they could bill me, or they could wait while I searched through 100 boxes for it. Reluctantly, they delivered my bed. In due time, I got a call from the trucking company's accounts payable department wanting their $30. This was actually something of a surprise as I thought this was a trucker scam. I let them know that their contract was with the seller, not me. They could threaten all they wanted to take me to court, and I'd see them there. Interestingly, that was the last I heard from them.